Once upon a time, there lived a man named Obinna. Obinna was a successful businessman, known for his wealth and the empire he had built for himself. But more than his wealth, Obinna was known for his kindness and generosity. He had three sons: Uche the eldest, Chike the second son, and Nnamdi the youngest. Uche and Nnamdi were Obinna's biological son, while Chike was adopted when he was just a baby. Despite the difference in their births, Obinna loved all his sons dearly. However, it was no secret that he had a special bond with Chike, because Chike was a hard-working boy and always did everything the father told him to do correctly. He is very humble and always ready to learn new things. But this affection did not sit well with Uche. From a young age, Uche had always felt that Chike was a rival, someone who had stolen his father's love. As they grew older, Uche's resentment only deepened. He became harsh and distant towards Chike, often bullying him whenever the opportunity arose. On the other hand, Nnamdi, the youngest, played the role of the peacemaker. He was charming and playful, the one everyone saw as the sweet, harmless sibling who wanted nothing more than for his brothers to get along. Years passed, and the boys grew into men. Obinna's company flourished even more, and he decided it was time to start thinking about who will be in charge of his business. To everyone's surprise, Obinna announced that Chike, the adopted son, would be the one to take charge. Obinna did not put Uche in charge of his business because he always knew that Uche likes to lavish money on luxurious things, and that alone could ruin the company he had worked hard all these years to build, and he is not ready to take that risk. This decision was like a dagger to Uche's heart. How could my father choose him? Uche thought. He was so angry and bitter. To him, it was like a stab in the back. He has always assumed that, as the first son of the family, the company would naturally fall to him. But now, all those dreams seemed to vanish like smoke. Nnamdi, however, showed no sign of jealousy or anger. He smiled and congratulated Chike as everyone else did. But behind that smile, Nnamdi's mind was already working. He knew his father's decision had stirred up something dark in Uche, and he planned to use it to his advantage. As time went on, Chike began his work as the CEO of the company. He was exceptional in his role, achieving success that further elevated the company's status. Obinna was pleased and proud of Chike, who seemed to have justified his decision. But Chike was unaware that shadows were gathering around him, plotting his downfall. Uche's anger turned into a burning desire for revenge. He couldn't stand the thought of Chike, the one he always considered beneath him, taking what he believed was rightfully his. Nnamdi, who seemed to be the supportive younger brother, pretended not to be in support of what his elder brother was doing to Chike. But behind, he was plotting an evil plan that could take the life of Chike. Chike does not deserve this, Nnamdi would say in a quiet voice and pretentious smile. We are all brothers. Let's not fight over the company. Please leave Chike alone. Blinded by rage, Uche began scheming, trying to find a way to force Chike out of the company. It started with small things like spreading rumors among the staff, sabotaging the projects, making Chike look incompetent. But when these petty actions didn't work, Uche decided to take more drastic measures. One day, as Chike was driving home from work, he noticed a vehicle following him closely. Sensing danger, he took a different route to his house. But as he drove, his car suddenly lost control and crashed, almost claiming his life. Chike was rushed to the hospital, where he barely survived the accident. Obinna and Chike suspected Uche as the one behind the accident, but they didn't know it was someone else in their family. One evening, Chike was working late at the office when he received a phone call from an unknown number. The voice of the other end was cold and threatening. "You think you can just take what doesn't belong to you, Chike? If you don't sign out your shares of the company, there will be consequences." They had kidnapped his girlfriend, Sarah. Chike's heart pounded in his chest. He had never been one to deal with threats and violence. Fear gripped him, and without thinking it through, he agreed to meet the caller the next day in order to save his girlfriend's life. At the meeting, Chike was presented with a document forcing him to sign over his shares in the company. With the scary look in the eyes of the strangers and the threat towards his girlfriend's life left him no choice. With a shaking hand, Chike signed the paper, effectively giving up his claim to the company. When he returned home that night, Obinna noticed something was wrong. "Chike, what happened? You look troubled," his father asked. "Nothing, Papa," Chike replied, forcing a smile, "just tired from work." But the truth could not be hidden for long. A few weeks later, Obinna discovered the transfer of shares. He became furious and confronted Chike, demanding to know why he would do such a thing. I had no choice, Papa," Chike stammered. "They threatened me." Obinna's anger turned into worry. "Who threatened you? Tell me, son." Chike hesitated but finally admitted, "I don't know, Papa. They never showed their face, but they knew everything about me." Obinna immediately suspected Uche, knowing the tension that had always existed between him and Chike. He confronted Uche, demanding answers, but to Obinna's surprise, Uche denied everything. "Why would I do such a thing, Father? I may be upset, but I would never stoop so low." Obinna was not convinced but had no proof that it was Uche, so he decided to let the matter rest for the moment. But the truth was about to come to light from the most unexpected source. Nnamdi, who had been watching from the shadow, decided it was time to reveal his true nature. One evening, he invited Chike to meet him at a quiet cave in town. Chike, still shaken from the recent event, agreed to meet his younger brother, hoping for some comfort or advice. As they sat down, Nnamdi leaned in close and whispered, "Chike, there's something I need to tell you." "What is it, Nnamdi?" Chike asked, his eyes filled with worry. "It wasn't Uche who planned all this," Nnamdi began, his voice low and calm. "It was me." Chike froze. He could not believe what Nnamdi said. "What? What are you talking about?" Nnamdi smiled wickedly. "You see, brother, I've always been the one in the background, watching, waiting. I only took advantage of Uche's anger and jealousy, but I'm the one who made sure everything happened as it did. The threatening, the accidents, the documents, everything. And now the company is mine." Chike stared at Nnamdi, his heart pounding in his chest. "But why, Nnamdi? I thought you were on my side." Nnamdi leaned back and whispered, "Chike, in this world, it's not about who deserves what, it's about who can take it, and I've been waiting for this moment my entire life." Chike was so angry and disappointed. At the same time, he had lost everything, the company, and now the brother he thought he could rely on was the one behind all of this. But deep down, Chike knew he couldn't let Nnamdi win. He would have to find a way to fight back, to reclaim what was rightfully his. As he left the cave that night, a new determination filled his heart. The battle wasn't over yet.